Hi Nicholas, this is Alan Cockrell with ABC, former hitting coach for the Colorado Rockies and the Seattle Mariners. We're going to take a look at some video this morning. And, Nicholas, the first thing I always look for with hitters is just to make sure that we're in good balance. And that goes from setup all the way through the load process, the swing process, and then the finish and the balance at the end. So the thing for me that keeps us under balance is our knees stay inside of our feet and our head stays inside of our knees. And if we can get into that position and stay into that position throughout our swing, we got a pretty good chance of controlling the barrel of the bat throughout the swing, okay? So you're in a good position to start out with. We're going to run this forward into the load phase, okay? The load phase is gathering and storing energy, all right, or shifting weight to the inside part of my back leg, right in there. All right, as you can see, your knee is inside your foot, so we're good there, okay? There's different phases of getting your foot down. I'm sure that's a term that you've heard. Most hitters, their toe will land first, but it's not until that back heel firmly plants into the ground, right there, am I fully loaded, okay? So now at this particular point, we got a few other things we're going to check, okay? I want to have good equal bend in both knees, okay? That back knee's good. The front knee's just a little stiff, or just a little straight with that front knee. We want to have good equal bend in that front knee, okay? The second thing that I look for is that our hips are staying square to home plate. We don't want this front hip leaking out first and starting our swing, because that's going to bring us out and around the baseball, okay? The other thing that I look at in this position is our stride foot. Our stride foot, this foot right here, we want to make sure that it's no more open than a 45-degree angle. Yours is at 55, which is not bad. It's just that, Nicholas, when we start to get our stride foot more open than 45, now we run the risk of this front hip leaking open, okay? And when that leaks open, we really can't handle and hit pitches that are on the outer half of the plate or outer third of the plate very well at all. So that's one thing to just kind of keep an eye on, is the stride foot. We want to keep at 45 degrees, okay? The other thing I'm going to point out in your load is this straight front arm right here. I'd rather see your elbow more down in here, and then the hands more up in this area right here. So we got just a little bit of an L shape with that front front arm, or that, which would be the left hand and then the arm of the left hand going up. It's a little bit straight. In baseball terminology, we call this getting locked out. And I see a lot of kids, when this front arm gets locked out or straight or stiff, we have a tendency to sweep the bat through, as opposed to really maximizing our bat speed and have the feeling of like we're throwing the barrel of the bat through the ball, okay? So I'd like to see just a little bit more elbow there, hands more up here in this area, and then the barrel of the bat will be like up here, like this, okay? That's just a little bit more relaxed position to be in, and the more relaxed we can be, the quicker our bat's going to be, okay? Now, we're going to get into the swing phase. There's different phases of the swing. Remember all the weight that we stored back in here on the inside part of our back leg? We're now going to transfer this weight, or shift this weight, into the inside part of my back leg, okay? That's called a weight shift or a weight transfer. The lower half of our body gives us direction to the baseball, and it also gives us drive through the baseball. So in a sense, our power comes from our legs. I want to drive the back knee into the inner thigh of my stride leg, okay? The next thing that happens, and I'm going to run it back one click, the next thing that happens, along with this back knee, this back elbow will drop into a slot right in here next to the rib cage and the hip, okay? And when we get into that slot right there, we want to see shoulder, elbow, and back hip all in alignment. That's called a connection. And when we get to the connected point, now our next move into the baseball will be our hands start to work in front of our body, okay? Out here in this area, just basically in front of my center of gravity, and then work my hands out here somewhere in front of my front hip so I can deliver the barrel to the ball. All right, so let's run this forward. Let's see where you get. And what happens is, because this front arm is a little bit stiff, your barrel of your bat is going to come out and around the ball just a little bit. Watch this. We're going to go forward one more time, and we kind of come out and around. We do get to this position. I see some good things at contact, though. I see palm up, palm down, and I see your head and eyes looking right down the barrel of the bat at contact. That's a good position to be in. But because we've had this stiff front arm right back here, our bat path has come out and around the ball like this, and it's caused the ball to get just a little bit deep on us. This ball's probably inner half, and this ball, we're making contact on our front knee right here, when the contact on this ball should be 3 or 4 inches out in front of your front foot. Okay, and it's just because we brought the barrel out and around the ball. Just a little bit longer path to the baseball takes a little bit more time. Okay, we'll run this past contact, run it to an extension. Your head and eyes are still looking down the barrel of the bat. That's good. Okay, we get a nice full extension through the ball. Okay, and then we get a nice finish on the backside. All right, that all looks good. Now, Nicholas, what I'm going to suggest is we're going to run it back to this point right here. Right there. When the heel plants in the ground, right here. Okay, now we're loaded. Now what I want you to do is I want you to set a tee out here on the outside part of the plate. We're going to set that tee even with my stride foot. Okay, I'm going to put a ball on it. And now what we're going to do is we are going to get into the connected. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to take this stiffness out of our front arm. Okay, I'm going to try to get just a little bit of an L shape right here with my hands. This would be your elbow right here. Now the hands will come back up here. The barrel of the bat will be more in this position right here. Right there. That's going to be what your front arm is going to look like. And then the bat's going to be right here. It's going up. Okay. We're going to get into driving the back knee right there. You do a good job. We're going to get to this connected point, shoulder, elbow, back hip. Okay, now if we had the stiffness out of our arm, our hands would be somewhere in this particular place right here. Okay, this elbow would not be stiff. All right, and now from here we're going to take our hands, we're going to go forward in front of our body. My hands are going to go forward just past my center of gravity, and then I'm going to throw the barrel through the baseball. I'm going to feel like my bat speed and my maximum bat speed and the release of my barrel is going into right center, or it's going through the second baseman. Okay, this will help you shorten up your path to get to the ball so that we're hitting the ball out here in front of our front foot somewhere. Okay, the biggest thing for me is we need to pay attention to this stride foot right here. We don't want to be more open than 45 degrees, and we got to make an adjustment with this front arm right here so we take the stiffness out of that front arm. Okay, buddy? Hey, I want to thank you for coming to our camp, and best of luck.